Welcome to the On Your Side podcast. I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell.
Well, my car is still in the shop.
Oh, no. Seriously?
Yeah, I remember last week during the podcast, I said, something's up with my car. I had to have it towed in. It's under warranty. It's got 30,000 miles, and they just dropped off a loaner today.
Oh, no. We were so hopeful that there would be a quick answer.
No. In fact, 30,000 miles, as I said, maybe a new transmission.
No.
Yes. Can you believe this?
Wow. That's frustrating.
I mean, so much for buying a new car.
At least it's under warranty.
I know.
But you are learning a lot about all of these different things that people come to us with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
People come to us with all these problems with cars and new stuff, and you're like, okay, now I'm learning firsthand how to walk through it.
At least they're treating me right. They're, it's not where I have to advocate for myself. I mean, they're still looking at the car. It's still under warranty. They did give me a loaner from the dealership. So, but man, what a mess.
Do you at least have a cool loaner? Is it a fun car to drive?
It's an SUV.
Okay, so that's different because you drive a sedan normally.
Yeah, it's a sedan, but so this is the SUV upgrade.
Super fun.
So, hey, listen.
Okay, so take it.
I'll take it. You know what? Take your time on the transmission. Take a couple of weeks. Take a month if you want. I'll drive this. Put miles on their car, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, listen.
Silver linings.
If we're talking today about alcohol, I mean, it seems like the topic everybody seems to be watching on TV and social media and everything. It's artificial intelligence, aka AI.
It has been integrated into quite literally everything. It feels like
everything. Have you watched TikTok videos?
Yes. And you know what? One of my silly favorite pastimes when I'm getting ready for bed, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'll see a funny video and I'll be like, haha, that's hilarious. And I'll send it to my husband. And now I've gotten caught a couple times being like, I don't know if this is real or not.
Yes.
It's still kind of funny, but it's a lot less funny if it's not real.
Right. Well, real in the fact that it was AI, and also real, I will send my wife something just totally hilarious. I'm like, this is so funny. And she'll write back and she'll tell me, yeah, they were acting that out. That was all.
You're like, oh man,
that was just clickbait. They got you, and I'm like, yeah, but it was so funny.
I know.
Yeah, well, it was well thought out and orchestrated.
I know.
So we got some weird TikTok videos. I mean, I was talking to Todd, our audio engineer, earlier. Crazy stuff there's a video of somebody going out of their front door to get their Amazon package. And there's a huge, giant mountain lion and all kinds of crazy stuff happen. And you're like, oh, my gosh, that poor person. That mountain lion was right on their front doorstep. And
AI.
Yeah, it's AI.
That or all of the videos right now that are going so viral are all about just different animals saving babies from dangerous situations. Have you seen those?
I've heard about them. But
there's a million different versions of dogs jumping into babies' cribs to protect them during an earthquake.
And it's not true.
And for a second, you're like, oh my goodness, what a good little puppy.
Yeah.
Nope, not real.
Oh my gosh. You wanted to believe.
How do you tell the difference?
I know. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking to Jon Clay. He is with Trend Micro, a cybersecurity software company. Jon, you're joining us from Dallas right now. How's Dallas going for you?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here. I'm normally from Colorado where it's getting quite cool now and snow in the mountains, but Dallas is warm, which is nice. Walking to the office from the hotel, it's a nice little walk instead of freezing like I do back home. But yeah, all good here.
Yeah, enjoy that. Jon, we're talking about AI, and I want to know, how do we know that you're not AI right now?
Oh, on the spot.
Yeah, I have 2 ears and I got 2 eyes. I only have 5 fingers. That was kind of the telltale. If I had 6 fingers on my hand, you'd probably be like, yeah, that's AI. But unfortunately, good for most of us is that the AI tools have gotten a lot better. So they don't do those mistakes much anymore. But as you mentioned earlier, the challenge is it's getting very difficult to determine what is real versus what is not real, right? Synthetic content versus unsynthetic content. And so I was kind of laughing at the conversation because I saw a video the other day about a bear going into a bathroom with somebody, and I'm like, yeah, there's no chance. So
It didn't happen.
yeah, it didn't happen. I mean, so unfortunately, we're going to have to start using our common sense a little bit, I think, as we try to figure out what's going on here. But certainly, the challenge we have, as a cybersecurity firm, 35 years old, we see the bad side of most of this stuff, right? And so we see what the scammers are trying to do and utilize this technology to take advantage of consumers out there or businesses out there. And they're getting very good at utilizing the tech to make their attacks look very real.
Well, because you said you have to use your common sense. But when a scammer is involved, they're not going to make something outrageous, right? It's not going to be like, oh, well, that would never happen in real life. They are using it. So it is
very real
and pinpointed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for example, like, we used to hear about the kidnapping schemes, right? Where they would kidnap somebody and they would call you up and say, hey, I've got your kid. And they would have a voice recording of your child. And they would get you to pay an extortion fee in order to get the child back. Obviously, they never had the child, but they preyed upon you and got you to thinking that they had actually kidnapped. Those kind of things we're starting to see utilize deepfakes. So instead of just an audio, it's now a video of your child or your grandparents or something like that. And so it is getting tough.
There is a sinister side to AI when it comes to these videos. Before we get into that, what is the point of having these AI videos? Is it just for fun? Is it just to make people say, wow, look at that mountain lion that was on somebody's front doorsteps? Is it just made for fun? Is that the point of it?
To some extent. I think there's a lot of content creators out there. Obviously, they're making a lot of money doing content creation, whether it's for YouTube or whether it's for TikTok or whatever it be, right? There's a lot of income being generated. And so in order to continue to do that, the human being can only make so much content, right? I can only make so many videos. Whereas if I have an AI application creating videos for me or audio for me, I can have it run all night long and it can create thousands of these things, right? Whereas me as a human can only do so much. So a lot of these content creators are doing it to help them in their businesses. Influencers are using them, obviously, but certainly so there's a good side to it. I was telling somebody the other day, my family, we're on a big text message thing, and my sister recently retired, and she's all over the place, right? So I told my siblings, I was like, this is how I see my sister, and I had a picture of her, and I had ChatGPT craft the Where's Waldo image on her, stuff on her.
Yeah.
And so we all got a kick out of that, right? So she sends back a message and says, no, this is me. And she's in the mountains in Colorado hiking. So I said, okay, I used Gemini to create and put the Where's Waldo thing on her in that picture in the mountains, right? So that's the kind of stuff. You can do it for fun. You can do it to do it. But obviously there is a sinister side. And that's unfortunately what we see with any new technology that comes out. It can be used for good. It can be used for nefarious reasons, right? And so the criminals out there recognize that technology can be their friend as well, and so they'll use it in their attacks.
Now, there's kind of a trend going on where these bad actors are showing videos of, say, like our boss, Susan. Yeah. Like it would have our boss, and they would send the video. And like we would get the video, and our boss, I say that in air quotes, wants us to do something. Well, it's coming from our boss because we know what our boss looks like and we know how she talks. That's a big problem. What's going on there, and what kind of rabbit hole does that go down?
Yeah, and this is where they're abusing trust, right? You trust that that's your boss sending you that video or doing an audio conversation with, whether it's in a phone call or whatever it might be. And so they're abusing the trust that you have in a relationship with that person, and they can mimic those people now. They can mimic their voice, they can mimic their audio, their video, whatever it might be. And so they using that to do their attacks. One big one for commercial side on the business side is something we call business email compromise, where in the past it used to be just an email that you would send to a financial person and claiming it from the CFO, the chief financial officer, and saying, hey, you need to wire transfer this money to this account. And the person would think, and sometimes it came from their actual email account. Now today, move forward with deepfake technology, you get a video or you get an audio of that from that person asking you to do the same thing. And so they're abusing the trust that we have with our contacts, whether it's friends, family, coworkers, whatever it might be.
How do we know what's fake and what's real?
Yeah, that's the big question, Mark. Like I mentioned earlier, in the past, you'd be able to say, hey, there's 6 fingers on that person's hand, but anymore, it's a little more difficult. I will say there's a couple things we can look at. If you're having a real-time conversation like we are right now in Zoom, there is a chance that if that person on the other side is synthetic, there might be a bunch of delays, because the real-time conversation still isn't really as good as it needs to be to do that. You could also sometimes there's images in the background or things you can look at from that perspective. On the audio side, certainly there's going to be delays if you're having a conversation, because in many cases the person on the other end has to type in your question or something, and they got to wait for the answer, and then they answer it. So there's opportunity there. On the image side, it's you want to definitely look at the person. There's still some challenges with irises. There's still challenges with ears, things like that. Teeth tend to be an area you can look at. But as we saw with OpenAI's Sora 2 that just released, the technology has advanced enough to where it is going to be very difficult to detect it. So what I tell a lot of people nowadays is that you're going to have to embrace technology. We're using technology to defeat technology, right? AI to defeat AI. Because unfortunately, the human side of us, whether it's our visual or our hearing, is going to be difficult to determine what's real, what isn't.
This Sora 2 has just really exploded. I think it's probably the #1 app that's being downloaded right now. And somewhere in their videos, they put some kind of emblem, but it's usually
a watermark.
A watermark, but
it's a watermark.
But that watermark, I mean, you really got to search all over for it, because they don't make it very, clear to where it is. And if you want to see if it's an AI video, you really have to scan the video.
And how easy is it to crop it out anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the challenge, right? But I mean, it's good on OpenAI that they're adding some of these guardrails in. They definitely did that with Sora 2. They put some, age restriction capabilities into the platform. They've got the watermark, but as you said, I mean, these criminals, they'll figure out how to get around those safeguards and those guardrails in many cases. So it is going to be difficult, but the platform vendors that are creating these tools definitely have to step up and do that. There's an act called the No Fakes Act that's trying to go through Congress right now to help with this and try to put some regulations in place, which we probably need as an industry, because as you both know, AI is moving at the pace with which AI is going is pretty crazy right now, and a lot of people, I think, are concerned about that. But definitely use technology. We have a product that has a deepfake detector. So in some instances, we can enable that deepfake to start running on a Zoom call or on a Teams call or a Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever it might be, and it'll analyze your audio, it'll analyze your video, and it will be able to detect if it's synthetic or not, and alert you as a person using it. So we're investing heavily in the AI technology on the defense side. We're probably investing a lot more than the criminals are on their side, which is good news for the world right now. But they're definitely catching up, and they're definitely utilizing these new tools to their advantage as well.
So what are the other things we can do, if we are just casually scrolling, answering our boss's emails, going to work every day in the middle of busy days? What else can we be doing to be part of the solution to make sure we're not getting sucked into this AI rabbit hole?
Yeah, a lot of it is just using your common sense about what the intent of the message to you is. In most cases, like scammers or cyber criminals, they want two things from you as a victim. They want your personal information, or they want your credit card or bank information, right? So if you get a message that asks you to click on a link, and the link takes you to a page where it asks you for your credit card information, your driver's license, what's your address, what's your birth date, those are telltale signs you should definitely not engage that kind of thing. Any unsolicited message you get, whether it's text, email, even a phone call, I would be very skeptical about those in this day of age, because it's probably some kind of a scammer trying to take advantage of you. Especially, like I said, they're going to have some urgency in their message to you about, you got to do this right now. You've got to, open up this attachment, open up this web page, enter the information, etc. So those are some things. On the business side, if you like with email, for example, even if you get an email from your boss, for example, if it asks you to do something, even if it's something you do on a normal basis, there's something we talk about is two-factor verification. You probably heard of multi-factor verification, where if I try to go to a website, it texts me a code that I got to enter to get into that my account, right? Two-factor verification is where you contact the person who's contacting you to do something in a separate medium, maybe a phone call or something, to verify that what they are asking you to do is actually what they're asking it for it, right? It's not somebody else. So there's some things you can do that way.
You know what really concerns me about AI and these deep fakes? It could seriously cause a world war. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, let's just say you got the North Korea, and they put up deep fake of Kim Jong-un saying that he's going to attack the U.S. with nuclear arsenals in the next 20 minutes. And it looks like him, sounds like him, but it's AI generated. That's a huge threat.
Yeah, I do believe, and I hope that the U.S. government has some verification processes in place that they can pretty quickly verify if that threat is real or not, especially when you're starting to talk kinetic warfare versus cyber warfare. There's a lot of safeguards that go into that, but you certainly can see that. One of the areas we're obviously concerned about is with elections and the misinformation, disinformation campaigns that have been going on. They're just going to get better and better at what they do. You have a candidate saying just, racist remarks or something that, obviously isn't them, but the audience out there thinks it is. And so they're like, I'm not going to vote for that person,
right,
even though it's not them. Those are, so the misinformation, disinformation campaigns are probably a little more worrying than potentially a world war being started through this technology. But yeah, certainly there's an AI happening where obviously the U.S. is trying to become the AI leader. You have China trying to become the AI leader. There's going to be a lot of push and shove in terms of how quickly we can go after and bring our AI capabilities out there, be first, essentially. The challenge we have is when you move really fast like that, a lot of times security and safety is a fourth afterthought. And so that's why we continue to try to press a lot of these platform vendors to take a step back, make sure you are doing it securely and safely, and you're implementing it securely and safely, and putting in these guardrails for your users.
Incredible conversation.
Yeah, I know. It's scary. There is the fun side of AI. I mean, you have Trump dancing with Putin and they're in Speedos. And I mean,
is that fun?
I mean,
how about this? We have Phoenix, but blanketed in snow.
Oh,
that's fun.
I love that.
Right? That's a good one.
That's a good, clever, humorous one.
There we go.
I like it, Susan. Hey,
April
Jon.
Fool joke kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
You could do.
Jon Clay, if people want to find out more about you or Trend Micro or what maybe Trend Micro can do for consumers or maybe companies, where do they go? Website, anything like that?
Yeah, trendmicro.com, trendmicro.com. We have both a consumer side of that website as well as a commercial side, and you can get a lot of information there about our products and services and what we do. We publish a ton of content about these types of threats and what we're seeing out there in the world. So there's a lot of educational stuff. There's even a section on our consumer site called Internet Safety for All, where we are educating, whether you're an older adult or you're a young family starting, we educate you on how to become better digital citizens, how to identify AI, how to detect AI, how to deal with cyberbullying. If I'm a parent and my child's being cyberbullied, we give you advice and help in that area as well. So we've been, like I said, we've been around for over 35 years, and our whole motto, our mission is to keep the world safe for exchanging digital information. And all we do is try to make sure our customers stay safe out there.
Jon, thanks so much for being on the On Your Side podcast. Fascinating conversation, both alarming, but also, there's a funny side to AI as well. But Jon, thanks again for being with us, okay?
Yeah, my pleasure. It was a great conversation. And I'll just end that, AI, there's definitely a good side to AI, and we're going to see the benefits of that as both consumers and businesses. It's going to help us grow and become better people and actually help our lives. But that other side is what we're going to deal with and try to make sure you don't have to mess with it.
Thanks, Jon.
Have a great day.
Wow, AI is just insane sometimes. It's funny because, we talked during that conversation, how the good side of it, but man, I tell you what, there's really some bad things that can be done with it.
Well, and what's so interesting? It wasn't that long ago that we were doing that story about the mom in Scottsdale who got that AI call. She thought her daughter had been kidnapped, and it sounded like her daughter. She thought it was her daughter. It was just a phone call, and now he's saying people are using video versions of this. And so it progresses so quickly, and this technology is just changing so fast that we have to do everything we can to be vigilant, be aware, stay on top of it, because my goodness, how easy could it be to be wrapped up in this? Yeah,
the key word here, I think, is urgency, because as you and I know, the scammers always want a sense of urgency. Like, you have to do this particular exercise, whatever it might be, within the next 30 minutes or something terrible is going to happen, So when you have something urgent like that, you got to really take your time and look into it, make sure you're not getting scammed. The On Your Side podcast is produced by Brad Denny. Our audio engineer and editor is Todd Martin. Segment producer is Colin Stanton. And I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell. If you have a problem you can't resolve, maybe we can. Send us a message through azfamily.com or our AZ Family mobile app. Look for the On Your Side section and leave us a message. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Side podcast. And if you like it, leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
On Your Side is on Good Morning Arizona every weekday morning at 6:45 and 7 o'clock, and every weekday evening on Good Evening Arizona at 4 and 5 o'clock. You can also catch it on Arizona's Family News at 9 on 3TV every weeknight.